Bonjour from the Bordeaux kitchen once again. Today now we're going to attempt to make sauerkraut. This is what it's going to look like eventually. This is sauerkraut. And if you were just watching me a few minutes ago in the previous video, we made homemade granola, and now it's done. It got a little browner because I didn't have it on 300. I put it on 350 by mistake because I was nervous and finishing up the Facebook Live. So anyway, but it's nice and brown. Usually it's not as brown as this, but looks good. Okay, so that was our homemade granola. Check it out in the previous video, which will be up for grabs and on YouTube and all of that later. Okay, so today, sauerkraut. What is sauerkraut? Sauerkraut, or sauerkraut, is fermented cabbage. It's the cabbage. Cabbage, you can make it in red or in green. Thank you, Julia. My helper has just been helping me. But kids are not interested in sauerkraut, so that they don't want to help. So I'm on my own today, or now. So you can either pick the green cabbage or the red. This was a green cabbage. This one has, you can see it, caraway seeds in it. Caraway. It gives it a nice flavor. You can put other things in there. I'm not sure people do other things. I just stick with that because I like it. And you also need some salt. This is fine sea salt. Okay, so what we do is we get ourselves our cabbage and we take off the outer leaves. This cabbage has been, it's been in the fridge for maybe a week, a few days. So the outer leaves, these aren't really nice. So we want to kind of get rid of those until we get to something, well, even that's a little bit dirty looking. So we'll just kind of peel that off till we get to a nice clean spot. And those can go in compost or something. But you want to save one leaf whole or part of the leaf because we're going to top off our sauerkraut later with a leaf. Okay? Basically, we'll be putting it in this jar, the cut cabbage with the salt and the caraway seeds, and we'll be scrunching it down, and then we're going to put this leaf over, and then our weight, this is marbles, my favorite marbles, in a jar, in a glass jar. That'll be a weight to hold down the sauerkraut so they don't come up, and keep them down submerged in their liquid. So, okay, so we're going to save that there. Okay, so this is kind of a boring thing to do, but actually I wanted to, before I started cutting, to again show you how to hone a knife. Okay, we're honing the knife, going like this from back to front and down. And we're stable here, so it doesn't move. And you can do the tip. So there we've got and we're going to cut this guy into 4 quarters. And something else I'm going to show you. Kids are running by. They're totally uninterested in sauerkraut. So this is a recipe from Bordeaux Kitchen, page 53, how to make sauerkraut. Okay, here I'm demonstrating with the red cabbage in the book. You can see that. And today I'm demonstrating with the green cabbage. But we could have just as well done the red cabbage, which I'll do another time. So we're cutting, let's see if we can make some space. I'm cut it into 4 pieces, cutting out the core. Okay, and get rid of those. Okay, then let's put these aside. what you want to do is, well, basically what I usually do is I cut like this. Okay, so I make some slices kind of lengthwise, and then thin slices the other way, crosswise or whatever you call it, and kind of as thin as possible, because otherwise when you're kneading the sauerkraut, the cabbage, I'm going to throw some other pieces away. When you're kneading the cabbage, it just takes longer if you have to knead all of these big pieces. So I try to get them small, and then I don't have to scrunch them up with my hands as much, because that's what we're going to be doing, is we're going to be scrunching with our hands. So we've got all that. Try to pour it into our bowl without dropping too much. There we go. So this is a good sized bowl. I think I can fit some more in there. I'm going to cut lengthwise again, like that, and then small, sort of thin slices. So the great thing about sauerkraut is that it's basically your probiotic. There are a lot of little bacteria in there that ferment, and I forgot to read up on fermenting. I just totally forgot the lactic acid, and this turns to that, and I just don't remember. But it's a great food that you can eat kind of as a condiment. So a little bit in your salad, a little bit with each meal. Just start small if you haven't had it before. Okay, so this is half a cabbage here. Hi Benjamin, bist du wieder da? Hi. Okay, so we've got our cabbage, and we've got a teaspoon. Maybe we need a tablespoon. Let's see if I can find a tablespoon. I can't find my tablespoon. Where's my... Oh, it's over here. Dry that off. So half a cabbage, I would use at least a tablespoon of fine salt. Sprinkle it on, and sprinkle in some caraway seed. Eyeball it. Maybe it's, I don't know, a teaspoon or part of a teaspoon. Okay. And I'm going to don my anti-COVID virus gloves, not because of the virus, but because my hands get torn up by the salt and the acid of the cabbage. So I'm going to wave to Benjamin. Okay, here we go. So we're going to just get in there and squish this stuff. And this, my friends, is a forearm workout. Okay? It's not that much fun. And it's boring. Oh, it's boring. So what you can do is listen to a podcast, or you can watch a cooking show like mine, and listen to your favorite 1980s music, like I like to do on my you can't see it, but I'll show it next time. My dual cassette player boombox. That's the ticket. Okay. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm breaking down the cabbage into basically mushed pieces. Hi Gail, hi. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this won't be too boring. So I get to just talk to you now because this takes a few minutes. So what else can I say? Yeah, I've got the gloves because the acid burns my skin. I just have really sensitive hands. So, okay, so we're mushing this up. You know, you need, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. You know, till you'll start to notice as it gets mushed up, water, liquid starts to come out and collect at the bottom of the bowl. And that's great. That's what you want. We want a lot of juice. We want to end up with all of this cabbage submerged in its own juices, so that all those bacteria can get to work and transform this raw cabbage to fermented cabbage. And you know, I just eat it cold and raw next to a salad, like I said, or next to a vegetable, or, you know, if you have a bratwurst, that's delicious. You can heat it up, but that's going to kill some of the bacteria, of course, or most of it, if it's gotten really hot. But it is fun to kind of heat up cabbage too. But here's the thing. You need to let this ferment for probably 5 days on your kitchen counter. You can also take it outside to get all the nice microbiome of your garden. You know, take it out there for a few hours while you're out there, or something like that, in a place where there's no other, you know, car exhaust or something. These days there isn't much car exhaust anyway, but you know what I mean. So then you get all the nice microbiome of your garden instead of just the kitchen. So what I'm doing is I'm stuffing my my squished cabbage, because there's a nice amount of liquid that's come out. I'm stuffing it now into my receptacle here, and we're gonna we want every drop of that juice. That's the good stuff. Okay, so there you go. And we're gonna now have to do the other half of the cabbage. But so first of all, we got that. Just punch it down a little bit. And let's start again. Here, let's see. Oh, this is our leaf that we're gonna cover it. We'll just put that there for now. Okay, I'm going to cut again. Oops, are we slicing more or less lengthwise? There we go. And then small slices, right? Thin, so that it's easier to scrunch, squish, and knead. Okay. And so again, you want to let it ferment when it's like this in the jar for probably 5 days. Some people go longer. Sometimes if you go longer or it's quite warm in the kitchen, then you will get, you might get some mold at the top, which is not nice. And then it can kind of change the taste, of course, of your sauerkraut. And in that case, if it's gotten moldy, what I do is I actually don't throw it away. I throw away the moldy part and the, you know, about an inch from the top, and then I throw it in a pan. So it kills the bacteria, but at least you still have the food, no waste. But I try to watch, you know, you want to look at your guys every day, check them out and make sure that they're doing okay. 5 days, you know, 5 days, 5 nights, and then you should have some really great sauerkraut. Okay, I have a bit of the core here. I don't need that. Okay, so more or less we have little pieces here. Okay, so we'll put those in, using a little on the side here. Okay, so once again, we've got about a tablespoon per half of the cabbage, and we wanted the caraway seeds, caraway, Okay. Hi, Ryan. Or is that Jen? I never know. Okay, so guys, so now we're gonna knead, I don't even know what you call it, squish, mush, mix. So, I don't know, I just go in there and squish it. You can also kind of rub them together a little bit, or in your hand individually, you know, you kind of develop your own tics and habits. Okay, so we're going to get this until the juices are running through to the bottom of the bowl, and you'll see it looks, you know, wilted and everything. And then we'll put it in our jar. And you want to, during those 5 days that you're letting it ferment, you want to cover it just with a kitchen towel. You can use a rubber band to hold the kitchen towel, or not, whatever. Just so basically, so air can get through, but no creatures, you know, besides the bacteria. So, and you know, there's so many more. I mean, I don't know the numbers, but there's so many more billions of bacteria in a spoon of sauerkraut than there is in your probiotic capsule. So, and it's infinitely less expensive doing your own sauerkraut. And I mean, you can buy it, it's not that expensive, but in terms of, you know, if you're doing it for the probiotic, buying the capsules of probiotics is quite pricey. So, and you know, it tends to help digest, you know, when you have a little sauerkraut with your meal. So are there any questions? Oh, hi, Sebastian. So any questions, let me know, because I can see on this screen here. Okay. Okay, we're almost there. I'll give you a close-up of what it looks like. Yeah, we have a little foam, some bubbles. That's good. I'm really breaking down some of the cell walls here of the sauerkraut. Okay, see, there you go. It's nice and wet looking, as opposed to dry, fresh, raw, that kind of thing. Okay, so we've got our cabbage, and you may find you want it saltier or less salty. You know, you just have to experiment. So 5 days. What else can I say about this? It's so easy. And you know, a thing of this lasts, I don't know, it lasts us maybe 2 weeks. You keep it in the fridge after you've let it ferment on the counter. So room temperature, or, you know, outdoors in the shade for 5 days or so. Some people do 7. And then in the fridge. Once you've gotten it to where you like it, then you put it in the fridge, and it'll keep, you know, for, I don't know, a couple of weeks, maybe more. Okay, so I'm gonna, see, the thing is, I'm making this now because our sauerkraut that's already made and fermented, well, we're gonna be eating it over the next 5 days, and in 5 days we won't have any more, but this will be ready. I'm actually thinking ahead. I am. Sometimes I am organized. Most of the time I'm not, though. Okay. Oh, hi, Chris. Okay, so here we go. Wow, look at all that foam at the top. Look at that. That may be because I may have put slightly more salt in than I might Maybe I put in more salt. And so it's really foaming. Hopefully it won't be too salty. Okay, so they're submerged. They being pieces of cabbage. Okay? They're pretty much submerged in there. Oh, look at all those guys. Okay, and then we're gonna take our clean cabbage leaf and sort of push that down on top. Right. Take our little thing which snugly fits. This is a jar of my favorite marbles. And it's colorful, tiny little jar. And I'm going to press down. Okay? So that the level of the liquid rises. Okay? Above the level of the cabbage pieces. And so this thing on top is the leaf. And that, after the 5 days, you just discard the leaf. So then what we do, you guys they're all ready in there, and you just cover it up. You can put the rubber band here if you like, to keep it on the counter. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And then you just, keep it there, and then once a day you go, "Hi guys, how you doing?" And you just press down on this a little bit, to make sure that the water is above, or the liquid's above the pieces, and let them just do their thing. Check it, once a day for 5 days, and you should be good. You can taste it, and if it's not to your liking, you can let it continue to ferment. But that's it. There we go. There. So this is still fresh looking and green. See that? Versus the fermented, which has kind of lost its greenish color over time. And what you'll find is when you put this into the fridge after the 5 days, you'll take this out, you'll take out the leaf, and then you can cover it up, put it in the fridge. But what you'll find is that all the liquid that was on top will kind of vanish. It'll reabsorb, and there'll be a little at the bottom, but it'll just look like this. So that's it. All right. Oh, Привет, Masha. Hi, Peter. Oh my gosh. Hi, guys. Any questions? No? Okay, great. So I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did making it, and hope to see you soon again. Bye, guys. Love you. Thank you so much for watching. Пока.